Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac. We are back for episode 2 of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved. Last episode we got started with some basic stuff. We made our crafting table, the world's most expensive furnace, and a couple of Tinker's Construct tables. And since the end of last episode I've gone ahead and done a fair bit of mining. Got some iron, some copper, some coal, a surprising amount of Certus quartz crystals, as well as a few other things. And I went ahead and put my shovel to good use and got quite a bit of sand, gravel, and clay from this little lake that we're on. And that is because one of the first things that we've got to work on today is making a Tinker's Construct smeltery, because in order to progress with this mod pack we need a heck of a lot of redstone and diamonds, which of course require an iron pickaxe, which we cannot make using the vanilla mechanics. So instead we have to make an iron Tinker's Construct tool, which requires a Tinker's Construct smeltery, because we of course need the cast. So let's get started by making ourselves a bunch of grout, which we're then going to throw into this furnace here. And this kind of leads me nicely onto the next thing that I'm going to do whilst we wait for this to finish, and that is make ourselves the bucket. We didn't quite get around to this at the end of last episode, but we did take a look at the recipe, which requires it requires 3 iron plates, which you can make using 2 iron ingots and the forge hammer, which has to be made using the treated sticks, which can be made using one of these 2 recipes here. We chose to go with the bottom one, which is made using refined wood ash, so we do have to smelt some stuff up again, but instead of going down into the mines and getting 86, I think it was, more cobblestone to make another normal furnace, a bunch of people in the comment section of the last video did point out, instead we can go ahead and use 8 cobblestone and make ourselves a slab furnace, which is amazingly easier than making a normal furnace. I'm not quite sure why they put that recipe in and made the normal furnace so much harder, because the slab furnace is essentially exactly the same. It's just smaller, and it's not even really smaller. It takes up the same block space. It just looks smaller. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but we can go ahead and throw you in as well. And once those are done smelting up, we can go ahead and take those out, throw a little bit more grout in both of these guys, and we should be able to make those treated sticks. So let's get some normal sticks. Let's surround them with the refined wood ash. That gets us normal treated sticks, which we are then going to have to surround with some iron, like so. And that gives us the ability to actually make iron plates using the hammer from BiblioCraft. I don't know if we can make them one at a time. It doesn't look like we can, so we are going to need 1 more iron ingot in order to make this work. And when I say 1 more iron ingot, I of course mean 3 more iron ingots, because we do need quite a few of these iron plates, specifically 3 iron plates, in order to make the... Ooh, that's interesting. So we need actually 2 iron per plate, so we're going to need 2 more. I thought that was going to give us 4 plates. Apparently not. So we need 2 more iron to get the last bit of the bucket. This thing is well underway right now, so we can actually start to make some of the brick that's going to make the foundation of our smeltery. 9 should get us the actual base, which for now I'm going to put here. I will eventually... I'm not going to live on this island. I will eventually move somewhere else, but for now, this works kind of nicely because it stops mobs kind of coming towards us, at least at a very fast pace. So you have to swim towards us, which makes it a little bit harder for them to get to us. The iron is done, which means we can throw it in here. Boom, boom, and boom. That gets us the final plate, which we can then use to make ourselves a bucket, which we can then use to grab lava from this little pool over on the mini-map over here. Okay, so we've got our bucket of lava. I'm just waiting for the final bits of seared brick to finish smelting up here. I don't think we're going to need all of this to make our initial smeltery, but it's nice to have it nonetheless. And whilst I'm waiting for those to finish smelting up, I am going to go ahead and make myself a few drying racks from Tinker's Construct, because we are getting a few zombie brains thanks to all the zombies that are coming at us on this little island here. And what we can do with these is, if we hang them up somewhere, actually let's get a little wall going with some wood, we can actually turn the zombie brains into monster jerky, which is actually food that we can start to eat and not get poisoned. So boom, boom, and we'll put you there and there. And after a little bit of time, you can see at the top there, Whaler shows at 1.5%, 2%, and once it gets to 100%, it will become monster jerky, which we can then eat without the risk of getting poisoned, which is kind of fantastic. Also, another thing that I would like to do is get some more iron so we can get some shears, because we really need a bed. I do not like the idea of staying here every single night trying to fend off these mobs, and I can see a very willing sheep over there who looks to me like he might give off 3 wool, so we might be able to go and nab some off him and get ourselves a bed. But Before we do that, let's get a few more of these bricks. How many more do we need? We've got the 3x3 base. We need 3, 6, 9, 12. We need 12 more of these to get us up and running. So, that gets us 16. That is more than enough. So, we only need 11 here. Thank you very much. We're then going to need a controller, which looks like this. We're then going to need a drain, which looks like that. And then finally, we need a casting basin. It looks like that. We're also going to need a faucet, so we are going to need a few more of these. And finally, we're also going to need a tank, which does require a bit more grout. I really thought we were going to have enough, but apparently not. A little bit more grout, as well as a piece of glass. So, let's go ahead and smelt you up in there. We need, I think it's a full 8 more to make a circle with 1 piece of glass in the middle. So we need 4 more of these to get the thing actually up and running. But we can go ahead and put in the pieces that we do have. So we'll put the controller there. I think we'll put the drain right there. Next to it, the tank will probably go here just for ease of access. We'll put the faucet on the front. And then I think we'll go like this. And then kind of around back. Boom, boom. We'll put wood in the corners. I'll get rid of it in the future. And there we go. Done. Okay, let's get a little bit higher up here. It turns out I didn't actually need 12. I should have known that. Because I counted these 3 here as actual bricks, when in fact, they are the smeltery controller, drain, and tank. So I did waste a little bit of seared brick, but thanks to the fact that we do need a bed, it does give me a good excuse to go on a little bit of a trip over to this sheep. Hopefully, I won't encounter a horde of skeletons on my way like we did last time. That was absolutely horrible. There were in fact 2 sheep, so I am fairly confident that we should get enough to make a bed. And is that clay down there? It is. That is a ton of clay. So, let's go and grab a little bit of this. And that should get us enough stuff to make the drain. And then we can start filling it with lava. So, the one big difference in the smeltery when it comes to expert mode, it has been changed a little bit. And that is that it requires twice as much lava to run. So it requires a lot more lava per every ore that you melt down. It does still double ores, which is pretty nice, but it does require twice as much lava, so we're going to have to do quite a lot of trips backwards and forwards to this little pool of lava that we have, and eventually we're going to run out, which is going to be a bit of a pain, at which point we're going to have to find some more lava, maybe even go to the nether to get it, which again is going to be super duper fun. One thing that I did also notice whilst flicking through the recipes between episodes is that they've taken out lava power entirely. You cannot use any of the lava powered stuff. That only got me 3. What do I need? Gravel? Oh my gosh, get the heck out of here. Jeez. There we go. Okay, wow. Okay, we need 1 more piece of gravel. Where is the nearest bit of gravel? Is it like all the way over there or something? Alright, so that gets us the final piece of the puzzle, the seared tank, which, if we put there, should make the smeltery actually work, which is fantastic. We do have another flipping Nimrod over here coming to fight us, but for now, let's put you in there. And the first thing that we're going to have to work towards is getting ourselves some aluminium brass, because the first thing we need to make is a cast to make an iron pickaxe head. So, let's get our casting table down over here, and then unless the recipe for aluminium brass has changed, which I don't know if it has, but I'm assuming it hasn't, we should be able to make it using just, oh, that's interesting. 3 aluminium dust and 1 pulverized copper. That works. I didn't know that worked, but that's interesting to know. So, yeah, we can use it using copper and aluminium. I think I did get some aluminium whilst I was down there. I did, or aluminum, if you are from the United States. Anyway, let's put 1 of those in and 3 of these in, and I think that should work. By the way, I'm using the scroll wheel here. A lot of people ask me how I get items in and out of my inventory like that. If you scroll up, it pulls it out. If you scroll down, puts it back in. Very easy. Also, our beef jerky, which is actually monster jerky, is now done. I will take both of those and get 2 more up and running. We should probably make another set of racks, because it's not actually that expensive. So we'll do that, and we'll get these other 2 up and running as well. This should hopefully be a decent source of food for the near future if we actually keep running into zombies, which I think we will. And once this is done, which it is, we get 8 ingots worth of aluminium brass, which is actually a ton. So, what we need to do now is we need to get our pickaxe head cast, which we do not have. So, we're going to have to make a pickaxe head cast, which should be fairly easy to make. Let's get some more sticks. Let's make another cast. Let's make this a pickaxe head cast in our stencil table. Boom, boom, and we'll take that and we'll make ourselves a cobblestone version so that we can use that as the base for our cast. We'll throw you in here. Boom, boom. That gets us a cobblestone pickaxe head, which we can then put in here, and if we pour aluminium brass over it, that should get us a pickaxe head cast, and now all we need to do is get some iron in here. I think 1 iron should get us 2 iron ingots, which should be enough to make, I think, 2 pickaxe head casts. I don't intend to make 2. I might go ahead, because we have so much aluminium brass in here, I might go ahead and make a, like a normal axe and shovel head cast as well, just so we can get as much as possible, and this lava is running out fairly quickly. Okay, so I decided because we had so much aluminium brass left and we had quite a bit of iron, I might as well go ahead and make a full set of iron tools right from the start so we don't have to come back and do this over and over and over again when we need things like a sword, a shovel, an axe, all that kind of stuff. Because the cobblestone ones, whilst they work, are pretty slow and they run out really, really quick, like ridiculously fast. They last about maybe 20 uses, which isn't fantastic. So we are going to go ahead and make ourselves an iron version of every tool here, and especially the sword is going to come in handy because where we need to go from here is we need to make ourselves a couple of machines from forestry as well as a blast furnace from either immersive engineering or from railcraft. Now, if we have a look at the recipe for a blast furnace, you'll see that both of the recipes have been changed to be pretty much the same. The one from railcraft requires 4 lots of bricks, which is just 4 brick, which is 4 clay smelted, and then the other blast brick from immersive engineering is sand and then either ender pearls or TNT or glue. Again, the same as this one here, ender pearls, TNT, and glue. But this time it's made using hardened clay, which is smelting 1 clay block, which is of course 4 clay. So it's exactly the same recipe, just 2 different blocks that require 4 bits of clay smelted. So essentially the same thing. Now, in order to get this, like I said, we're going to need ender pearls, TNT, or glue. Glue, I believe you can get by smelting horses in a smeltery, which I don't really see us being able to do because we don't have that many horses around us. And so we're going to have to get ender pearls or TNT, which is going to require us going out and finding a bunch of mobs because, as you can see, this makes 4. And for those who don't know, the blast furnace is a multi-block, which requires, I think, about 34 of these blast furnace bricks or blast bricks. And so we're going to need about 8 of these little setups here, which requires 8 ender pearls, 8 TNT, or something along those lines. So we're gonna have to do a fair bit of fighting in order to get all of this stuff. But before we get onto that, let's quickly go ahead and make, I'm gonna use, let's use cobblestone for the tool rods and the binding. We might as well. I need 2 of those, I think, and then I think I only need 1 of the actual tool bindings. Like so, and I think we should be pretty much good to go. We are going to need actually a cobblestone version of this for the sword, which I will take. We could have used, actually we still can use this guy, which we might as well put you in as well, and then we should be good to go. So let's get ourselves a pickaxe. For that, we'll just go boom, boom, and where's our pickaxe head? It's there. Boom! That gets us an iron pickaxe so we can finally mine things like redstone, lapis, gold, and diamonds, especially gold, for the thermionic fabricator, which we'll get into in just a second. Next up, the sword. It looks something like this. Boom, boom, and boom. That gets us an iron sword, which will hopefully help us in our quest to fight some endermen and creepers. Finally, we have the axe head, which we can go boom, and we're going to need some more tool rods. That is fine. You can go there. 1, 2, and then I don't know why this changes back. It's kind of annoying, but we'll put you there. That gets us that, and then we'll put you there, and that gets us that, and there we go. We have a full set of cobblestone / iron tools. They're all classified as iron tools, which is pretty good, and actually it is getting dark, so we should most likely make our bed so that we can kind of just sleep through the evening. That would be fantastic. There we go. Whoo! Alright, so now we've got all that stuff. I should kind of explain why we need the blast furnace, really, because I kind of just said we needed it for no specific reason. Let's take all of you back. Do we have any more brains ready to go? We do not. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, so if we look at this book over here, and we look under tech tree, and then under machinery. Actually, no, let's not look under machinery yet. Let's look at more Tinker's Construct tools. So, further on down the line in Tinker's Construct, we come across something called the Tool Forge, which is an upgraded version of the Tool Station. Now, in this version of Feed the Beast Infinity, the Tool Forge has been re-recipeed so that it requires 4 dense refined iron plates. These are made by compressing up refined iron plates, which are made by using a metal former and some steel. Steel, of course, being made either by railcraft. You can use industrial craft, but that also requires another expensive form of blast furnace, which I don't want to get into. So it's either Immersive Engineering, or Railcraft, both of which require their version of the blast furnace to make, and that's why we need steel to progress on with Tinker's Construct, to get things like the Lumber Axe, to get things like the Hammer, which are going to help us drastically in our quest to mine just a ton of diamonds, because on the diamond front, you may have noticed a lot of the recipes, especially for things like thermal expansion, require the assembly table. For instance, if we look at the recipe for a pulverizer, we need the machine frames, and all of the machine frames are made in the assembly table. And now, the assembly table is a Buildcraft machine that is run using lasers. And if we look up the recipe for lasers, lasers are made using redstones, obsidian, and then diamond electron tubes. And diamond electron tubes are made in the thermionic fabricator with a butt ton of diamonds. And that's just, and you need 2 of these to get 1 laser. And 1 laser is nowhere near fast enough to get anything done, especially when making some of the higher tier machines. So we're going to need like 2, 3, 4, 5. I think the book even recommends 6 as a starting point for these Buildcraft lasers, which is a ton in order to get that up and running. And then finally, if we look at the machine frame itself, you'll see it requires crushed obsidian, which can only be made in a rock crusher. And then if we look at the rock crusher, this guy is made using 4 diamonds. Again, it's a multi-block. It's a 3x2x2. So we're going to need multiple, and we have to do this recipe multiple times to get the rock crusher to make machine frames. And this guy also requires a block of steel as well. So in order to progress with any of this, we are going to need a bunch of diamonds, some steel, and therefore a blast furnace. So the final thing that I'm going to do today, real quick, is I'm going to try and get myself some iron armor, because I want to be able to fight things like creepers and endermen without just dying immediately. So let's go ahead and throw in, how much do we got here? We got 505 millibuckets, which isn't a lot. I'm going to throw all that iron in there. Hopefully we have enough fuel to smelt all that up. That should get us 18 ingots worth, which, by the way, is nowhere near enough to get a full set of iron armor, even in vanilla, I guess. But also, the fact that the recipes have been changed makes it even more fun. So, to get iron armor this time around, you need, first of all, the previous tier of armor, which is leather, obviously. The same goes for gold and diamond. If you want to make a diamond chest plate, you need an iron chest plate to go and make that. But with the iron stuff, we need to make it using the dense iron plates, each of which, as we found out earlier, requires 2 iron ingots, which means you need double the amount of ingots that you would normally need to make a full set of iron armor, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, means that we need about 48 iron. 48 iron to make a full set of iron armor, as well as, I think, 24 leather in order to get all of the leather stuff. And by the looks of things, the recipe for some of these has changed, but it looks like it's only the boots. And for the boots, we're going to need some rubber, which you can either get from the Industrial Craft 2 rubber trees or from the Mine Factory Reloaded rubber trees. So that gets us 18. We do have enough lava left to do that again. That's going to get us up to 36, and that's going to get us up to 46, which isn't even enough iron. What the heck to make that work? I did smelt up some iron in here, so we can go and make an iron cast, like so, an ingot cast, so we can start pulling the ingots out of the smelt tray. But wow, that's not, we don't even have enough iron to make that work. That is kind of crazy. But whilst I wait for that to smelt up, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head out over here to see if I can get 48 leather, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so quite a long time later, we now have a bunch of leather, a little bit of rubber, which we will start smelting up in there so we can start making the leather armor. And I've also gone ahead and spent way too much time sat at this smeltery, individually pulling out every single one of these iron ingots. And we did run out of lava just before the last little bit of iron ore could smelt up to get us the 48 iron that we need. But we should have everything we need now, apart from flipping storage space in this chest. Jeez, let me quickly whip up another chest here, so we can get some space for all of our leather armor. Let me throw you like there, I guess, for now. That's not really a great place, but it will do. We're gonna need that leather. Let's take you, get rid of all those, and that should allow us to make a tunic, a helmet, some leggings, and then for the boots, we of course need the rubber, so let's take 4 of you. Boom, boom. That gets us the boots, and then we can go ahead and use pretty much probably all of the durability on our hammer. boom, to make 23 plates, which we can then start to use to actually make some iron armor. We can put you there. We can put you there. We can then make the leggings like so. And then we are only missing 1 plate to get the helmet, which is why we have not the aluminium brass, which is why we have 2 more ingots worth of iron over here. And for some reason, have they always taken this long? It feels like they take a lot longer now to, like, form into actual ingots once they've landed in the cast. That might just be me. Nevertheless, we will take you, and then we will go 1, 2, 3, 4 with our leather boots. And boom, there we go. We have ourselves a full set of iron armor. That is the most expensive full set of iron armor I have ever made in my entire life, but it should work just fine. And what I'm going to do now, guys, between this episode and next is do a ton of mining, hopefully get quite a lot of diamonds, quite a bit of redstone, a bunch more iron because we are now out, as well as some more copper tin and all the other stuff, and hopefully even kill a couple of endermen and creepers along the way. So hopefully at some point, maybe next episode, maybe the episode after, we can make the blast furnace and start getting some steel. But with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode here. Before you go, I would like to announce that I am going to be moving this server world here, the one that I'm playing on, over to my Patreon server starting on the 5th of this month, so only a few days after this video goes out. So if you would like to jump on this world and play along with me, like play along with the series in this world with me, you can go over to patreon.com/GOC, and everybody at the $5 tier or above will get access to this server and can play along whatever they want. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching. You guys were fantastic on the last video. So many likes. If we could do that again, that would be fantastic. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.